Hi, Paula. Nice to see you today.
Nice to see you too, Els.
So, the theme of today's video is losing it as a facilitator.
Mm.
And my question would be, why would you lose it? Why would you lose it as a facilitator? Why would you do that? So maybe you want to say a bit about that.
Well, I think I'm an expert at this, Els. I'm getting better. It's usually losing it on the inside, so not outwardly, and I hope that no one notices it. Um, and often, from feedback from people in the group, they haven't. If I ask a friend, so yeah. Yeah, so hopefully it's not noticeably or noticeable on the outside to others. But I try to come back when I'm in that headspace. I just try to come back to my heart and presence myself before it gets noticeable, and asking for guidance, speaking to my higher self. And there's that question that comes up, what would love do? So I'm trying to bring myself back to love as well. And, like what would love do right now? I can ask myself and maybe thinking about what caused me to lose it. Not thinking too much, but, just that trigger. It could be that I get stuck in judgment, or it could be someone's story that's triggered it, or it's just my own myself, that I get worried about how I'm reacting or how, what job I'm doing. So it's important for me to sort of allow that and be with it and probably welcome it in again. Here I go again, my little head, meanwhile everyone else is oblivious to it. And yeah, and just meeting it with a heartfelt compassion. And the funny thing is, while I'm in that inner turmoil, um, yeah, you just hope that the group haven't even noticed. So yeah. I find when I do lose it as a facilitator, it usually comes from that place of self-criticism for me and expectations on myself, how I'm going with the group, and sometimes comparison. I might get a bit comparing myself, to with someone I'm facilitating with someone who's just such an expert and had, 20, 30 years experience. And I feel a bit incompetent. And I get into that headspace. But then I remember to connect with that inner peace again and just to surrender to who I am and knowing that I am enough. And so it's bringing me back to that. And yeah, just reminding me that I am love, and that helps. And just yeah, trying to choose to let go of the inner critic, um, letting go of the thought, and breathing into love and releasing the fear. And yeah, and if that doesn't do it, I don't know. I think, if worst case scenario, I might have to say to the group, hey, I'm really struggling here today. Do you mind if we just all stop and just come back to the breath? Acknowledging my own vulnerability, perhaps. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. I haven't had to do that. But yeah, just if it was a bit of an emergency situation for me, I think that's what I'd do. I'd just bring everyone back to the breath, tell them I'm really struggling and I just need to feel their loving energy to get back on track. So
So what I
I
hear, Paula, is you talk so sweet about it and so lovely. So
uh,
what I hear is when you lose it as a facilitator, you facilitate yourself and in bringing you back to inner peace.
yes.
So I think there will not be one facilitator who has never lost it. I know I lost it once, and what I did was sit still and only shout on the inside, help! That was the way I practiced it. Just help, and I relax then. And but in general, we can say when you lose it as a facilitator, it's because you have had a thought
Mm.
about yourself, a thought about what you thought about the story, perhaps, or a thought about a story someone else tells and where you are scared, you scare yourself with it because maybe you think, I have to solve it, I have to do anything, I have to help, I have to give advice, and on the same time knowing, no, we are not giving advice and we don't offer help in that way. Our help is non-judgmental listening. And often we think that's not enough, but it is. It is enough. So the only thing as a facilitator, I think we have to do is come back to inner peace, whatever happens. And it all happens in the thought system, but just bring myself back to inner peace. And you say breathing is for you, it works for you. I always say when I'm a facilitator, I have, I want to be happy in being a facilitator. So what is needed for me comes first because I'm the facilitator, and
Yeah.
the participants, they do what they do. I can say go to the right and they go to the left, some, not all. But when I can be calm and together, so that comes for me, it sounds a bit strange, but that comes first. So when I'm
Mm.
calm and together, I can be available as a facilitator who is in inner peace and who is calm and who can just bear what is being said and what is being offered in the group.
Mm.
So in fact, I only have to listen. And when I focus on that one, just non-judgmental listening, um, that keeps me away from triggering whatever.
Yeah.
And no triggers then. When the judgment comes up, that's a trigger. That is it for now. Maybe you want to add something.
Yeah, just I love that you said about being happy, and it reminds me of your question in your book about do you want to be happy or do you want to be right, So there's that too. Because yeah. And also I'm going to take with me from today, from our discussion here, help in my head. So thank you, Els.
Yes, yes.
Appreciate that.
Mostly people say I'm like a Zen Buddhist, and I shouted 2 times help, on the inside. I, I don't think it's well when people see that you are a bit when you are losing it a bit, that's not a problem, just saying it. And always you can of course talk with you when you have a co-facilitator after the group in the post meeting, you can speak about it, what happened and how did you bring yourself back to inner peace. What I always did was focusing on the principles and the guidelines as a facilitator. It made me conscious of being present in inner
Yeah,
peace.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Paula. See you next time.
Bye bye.